Tell me about Blasphemous Rumors. How did that happen?
Oh, well, I mean, I was just a big Depeche Mode fan as a teenager, and I still am.
Right.
It's funny. I said, yeah, I grew up listening to, the Smiths and New Order and Depeche Mode and The Cure and Love and Rockets, and then I thought to myself, well, that's still what I listen to. I doesn't really changed that much. I mean, there's other things I listen to.
Yeah.
Now I listen to Arvo Pärt too.
Sure.
I still love that stuff. So that was always a song that it just meant a lot to me growing up, and I just thought if I was going to do this cover record, a little EP that came along with Humming. It was like an added value thing. So
I didn't know that existed. You have to get me a copy of that.
Yeah,
by the way.
it was basically I did Orpheus from David Sylvian. I did Reel Around the Fountain from the Smiths.
Right.
I did Riverman from Nick Drake.
Right.
And I did Blasphemous Rumors from Depeche Mode. So it was kind of a gamut there, but it was a little 4-track added value thing that they gave to the indie record stores. But what's funny is if you go on eBay now,
they're trading for big money.
they're like $40, $50
Wow.
bucks, for that record. And I have like 3 of them, but I like hoard them.
Sure.
Yeah,
You got to get them on eBay.
Yeah.
I mean, get them on iTunes rather.
Well, and I don't think they are on iTunes.
I don't think so because I was on iTunes looking for the track.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to have to steal the track.
Well, you've got my permission to steal that track.
You heard it. All the software. What I particularly enjoy with your music and guys like Mark Koslick and Mark Eitzel, you reinvent covers, you reinterpret them. You don't do the rote readings. So many people are like, oh, it's not true to the original. But I'm like, forget that. Find some grain that resonates with you.
Well, Gwen Stefani, for example, bless her heart. I think she's an amazing she's an amazing entertainer and an amazing businesswoman and an amazing everything. However, when she covered the Talk Talk song, there's not really any difference in the Talk Talk song and her version of it besides the vocal.
Right.
And it's not like a big critique, but it's for me. For me, if you're gonna cover it, make it your own thing.
Right.
Otherwise, why bother?
Yeah.
So one of the next Duncan Sheik records is probably going to be a covers record, which will be an expanded version of the little EP.
Great.
So it'll be all English bands from the 80s that could have been kind of synth pop, for lack of a better word, but it'll be done just like dulcimer, harmonium, piano, acoustic guitar, completely organic, and even more miserable than they were in the beginning.
Even more maudlin.
Even more maudlin.
I love it. That's the title, Maudlin Covers.
Yeah.
So tell me about this homage to Nick Drake with your album title.
Yes. Well, the album title got me in a little bit of trouble. For the record, it was not my idea.
Okay.
The record label said, let's call it Brighter Later because it's 2 discs. The first disc is the singles, for lack of a better word, or more up things with drums.
Right.
That's Brighter. And then Later is all of the stuff that's like really moody and more arranged and more kind of quiet and darker, frankly. So let's call it Brighter Later. It'll be like Nick Drake. And somebody blogged about it who was a Nick Drake fan and was incredibly offended that I had that made reference to this classic
Brighter Lighter,
this classic recording, which is true. I think it's classic too. But so it really is. I mean, I would think that it would be a form of flattery, but instead he ended the blog with "Not cool, Duncan." So
you can't please everyone, and that's the power of the internet, right? Everyone has an opinion.
Everyone, yes,
and everyone can see that opinion.
Yeah.
Well, Duncan, I know that you're eager to get to the guitars here that are surrounding us, and the basses and the keyboards.
I'm very, very impatiently wanting to plug some stuff in.
Know. It is. It's really like making a child sit at dinner in a candy store and say, "You get dessert after you're done with your dinner.
Exactly.
After you're done with your interview, you get to play with these guitars."
Yes, and the problem is, we both go to 30th Street Guitars a lot. Matt is a great guy, and I literally have bought 3 guitars from him in the past week, and then this comes up that I'm allowed to come in here, and and so like I'm like in heaven now. I've
Yeah.
got all this new stuff to play with.
It's
great.
tough. It's a tough job, but we're glad to help you through it. Or a tough addiction. Right?
Right.
Anyway, Duncan, thank you so much for
Thank
being on
you.
the Culture Catch, and
Thank you.
we look forward to seeing your next musical and
Cheers.
and hearing your new
The covers
records.
album, yeah.
And the covers album.
Yeah,
Thanks.
cool.
This is Dusty Wright. We'll see you soon. Thanks.